Here's a short special report for you. I don't want to alarm you with another market update, but I also wanted to share a thought with you, and I didn't want to make the normal market update video longer. So last week, Fed Chair Powell spoke at the annual Jackson Hole meeting in what was viewed as a watershed event, as a watershed speech. And as far as market reaction went, as the Fed head from Minneapolis, Kashkari, said, quote, "I was actually happy to see how Chair Powell's Jackson Hole speech was received," close quote. The market did take note. Most of the media is focused on one phrase, that there would likely be, quote, "pain," close quote, felt in the economy as the Fed raises rates. With some great research from a friend of mine, Tom Essay, who's not associated with the LPL or IHT in the research side, I wanted to recap a few other times in the past 25 years that the Fed has warned us about tough times in the economy or markets and what happened after that. It doesn't happen often. So you've heard me quote the past Fed Chair Alan Greenspan saying, quote, "If I made myself too clear, you must have misunderstood me," close quote. I want to recap 3 times in the past 25 years that we've heard actual warnings. 26 years ago, December 5th, 1996 to be exact, Alan Greenspan made the famous comments about irrational exuberance in the stock market. This was not a clear warning, so I'll leave that one out right now. But soon after that, in January 99, the same Alan Greenspan was testifying in front of Congress, and after 80% gains in the NASDAQ for the prior 2 years, he told lawmakers that the rally in stock was unusual, as it was not being driven by rising earnings. He stated clearly that the rally, quote, "would likely have difficulty in being sustained," close quote. What happened next? 1999 was a good year for the S&P 500, up 15% for the year, but early 2000, the warning came to roost and stocks rolled over. By October 9th, 2002, when the bottom was put in, the S&P 500 had dropped 38% from when the 1999 warning was made. Warning number 2, Ben Bernanke, again before Congress, as well as other venues, addressed the growing housing crisis in 2007. He acknowledged the risk in some subprime mortgages, but called that risk contained. He noted that there would be some pain in the housing markets, but he was clear that he did not think it would spill over and that it would be contained to subprime. How did that work out? Optimistic that it would be contained, the S&P 500 was up more than 10% over the next few months. Like the Greenspan rally, we know that this one did not last either. 1 year later, the S&P 500 was down 7%. It didn't bottom until 2009, down 40% at the level that warning number 2 came in. So this is not conclusive, but for a bit of history for you, for some takeaways. First, is the Fed chief saying something? If the Fed chief is saying something, we should probably listen. Greenspan was right about valuations. Bernanke, though too optimistic, was also right. Last Friday, Powell warned about pain ahead. Should we listen? Second takeaway, the market can rally after the warnings and still be wrong. This does not mean to fade any rally here. I'll make a clear distinction between then and now in a moment, but I do think it makes sense to be somewhat skeptical of rallies until the factors behind the warnings start to get better. First, this is just a few instances in the past 25 years. Second, these warnings went out when markets were much closer to market highs than we are now. The bottom line is that Powell did warn of economic pain ahead. Fed chairs don't warn so specifically about slowing growth ahead, so when they do, we should listen. Does this mean that we're going a specific direction from here? And is that a long-term move or a short-term move? No. This is just another data point that we should be aware of. Keep watching the Monday and Friday videos for details about what is happening, and more importantly, stay in touch. We'll discuss how this should affect your investments and your financial plan. Have a great day.